What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here at G.O.A.T Esports. Got a big race tonight as we have the Beef Jerky Unlimited Series championship race here at Phoenix for the G.O.A.T Racing League. 4 drivers out here to duke it out so you can take home that trophy and be the Season 1 winner for G.O.A.T Racing Beef Jerky Unlimited Series here at Phoenix. As we dive into your grid, qualifying just ended. Again, you'll see the 4 championship drivers in yellow. Everyone else will be in red. Ron Walsh is going to take the pole for this championship race here at Phoenix with a 27.679 lap and very, very close lap in the outside of row 1. Aaron Jackson in that 12 car, also a championship driver. Both teammates of Fastlane Racing, and Fastlane Racing actually has 3 of the 4 spots in this championship race. The other one will be held by G.O.A.T Racing and Charles Van Scoik in the 23, starting 11th there. Brandon Burkhart will be starting 7th in the 83. So the championship drivers a little bit spread out through the field, and we'll see what kind of moves and what strategy is going to get a driver a championship here tonight. Take a look at your admin box race info here at Phoenix. Track length 1 mile. Weather is going to be 82 degrees outside. Track temperature 87 degrees. Partly cloudy, 6-mile-per-hour wind. 100 lap race. Stage 1 and a lap 20. Stage 2 and a lap 45. 2 sets of tires, 50% fuel. And the pace car has dove off. These drivers coming around now to the green flag to get this thing fired off. And we'll see which driver has what it takes to bring home that trophy here in about 100 laps. Ron Walsh followed closely by Bud Shear. Bud Shear already looking to the inside here in the dog leg. So good start by the 93. If he can get clear here of Ron Walsh, who is still on the outside lane. New leader going to be the 93, but gets loose coming out of the corner. So Ron Walsh going to look back to the outside and see if he can take that lead back over. Furthest back of the playoff championship drivers here, the 23 of Van Scoik started towards the rear of the field. Just going to try to make his move, save some tires, I would imagine. Make his way through the field, hopefully cleanly with no issues. As he sits currently in the 10th position. Back up front, Ron Walsh has taken over the lead. He's got about a half a second on Bud Shear, but Bud Shear hanging in there. Aaron Jackson, your second playoff driver, currently in the lineup right now in the 12. He's sitting in 3rd position. Burkhart in the 83, currently sitting in the top 5. So all the championship drivers staying pretty clean right now. Everybody else doing the same. The field seems to be spreading out here just a little bit. Not a whole lot of pressure being put on anyone right now. Some single file clean racing going on right now. Again, we will go to the end of lap 20. That'll be the completion of lap 20. So when that ticker goes 21, that'll be the end of stage 1. Stage points mean nothing tonight, folks. They absolutely mean nothing. Your championship winner is going to be whatever car out of those 4 has the best finish. They don't even have to win. Just got to have the best finish. Still out front. Oh, contact into the wall. The 98 right in front of Dakota Kramer. A lot of right side damage there to that 98. The back bumper all tore up as well. 41 might have got a little bit of front end. Can't tell. Close call there. Yep, 41 got some damage out of that. Got into the back of the 98 when he got stuck in the wall. You can see complete right side and rear damage to that 98. But he keeps that car going. It's a little bit of a smaller track, so he'll be okay for the most part, but it is a wide track. So it's definitely going to affect the aero on that car and affect some of that straightaway speed. Van Scoik trying to make his way through the field. He's already up 3 spots. Now he's looking to catch Christoph Hall here after making that wall contact he had, and just still holding a pretty good pace. So I don't think the damage is going to hurt him too bad. Shouldn't have to use a fast repair. Should be able to come in at the end of the stage without going a lap down or anything like that, as it looks. Just be able to get some of that damage fixed. Lose some track position, but it's better than having to use a fast repair, in my opinion. Aaron Jackson has made his way around the 93 of Bud Shear into second place, currently 1.2 seconds behind Walsh, who is out front just dominating right now. Riding along with the 48 of Walsh out front here. You can see he's going to run that low line right here, and this is actually turn 2 now with the new Phoenix configuration. Used to be going by the start finish about right now. And then he's going to dive here into turn 3. Come out of turn 4 to the start finish. You can see the nicely lit green cactus there. Not using the dog leg too much. Neat your tires up down there, so I would imagine he'll keep it more on the traditional racing line, especially if he's out front with no pressure. Brandon Burkhart sitting back here in 5th place still, but he is up 2 from the beginning of the race, and he's looking at 3 cars right in front of him, not losing any ground and actually gaining a little bit here lap time wise. Like he's running just a little bit faster than these guys. He did struggle through that turn right there, a little bit loose, but still overall gaining on these 2 drivers. Looking to get a couple positions here and get the teammates of Fast Lane Racing up here in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Charles Van Scoik up another position here to 7th, as Christoph has fallen back now to 9th. And Van Scoik now looking at the 41 of Kramer, seeing if he can get another spot to get himself up in the mix. We know he's not worried about stage points. As mentioned, they mean absolutely nothing for this race. So Van Scoik will be the one to keep an eye out later in the race, as he probably plays a little bit different strategy than these other 3 drivers. And will probably come on later in the race, as we'll see probably the 48 and the 12. They'll try to stay up where they're at right now. Burkhart can be a little bit of a later run driver as well. So we'll see what strategy they all decide to play out. Van Scoik getting very close to that 41. Probably going to try to make a pass here in the next corner. As you can see, the driver's getting very spread out there in that dog leg. Still out front after 15 laps of racing. Ron Walsh still got a 1.2 second lead on Jackson. Last lap they ran identical lap times of a 28.91. Both pretty close to the quicker laps on the track. There were a few quicker ones back in the pack. Dakota Kramer and Christoph Hall actually ran the fastest laps 2 laps ago. Schmitz is running a fast lap up there with the 2 leaders as well. So it looks like Schmitz has saved a little bit in his car and is also trying to make his way back through the field. Van Scoik has made the pass on the 41. Now has his sights set on the 83 of Burkhart. But he's got a couple seconds of time he's got to make up. Don't know if he'll try to force anything before the end of the stage. Just probably see him run his line, take care of that car. Burkhart still right behind Bud Shear. Aaron Jackson comfortably sitting in the 2nd position right now. Still behind Ron, who's put about a 0.2 of a second on him. Nothing too much. So both cars out front just running their race. It will be coming here to 2 to go in stage 1. And at that point, we will see the pits close. Cannot pit with 2 laps left in the stage. So if you needed to make a pit stop, it's too late now. Riding along here with Aaron Jackson in second position on the final lap of the stage. Has gained a little bit of time here on Ron on the last couple laps, so it looks like Aaron is definitely taking care of his car pretty well to be catching Ron at a point of the race like this 20 laps in, who's usually very, very good at keeping his tires from getting too worn and keeping that car clean. But this will complete stage 1, your stage 1 winner. That's going to be Ron Walsh as soon as we see the caution flag fly, as it does right now. All 4 of your championship drivers are currently in the top 6. And now is where we'll start to see what kind of strategy these 4 drivers are going to start playing. Are they going to take tires? Are they not going to take tires? But there is your stage 1 winner, Ron Walsh. And the only thing a stage win does for you today is just make you feel better that you have a good car. Again, no points are going to come into play here. It's just the best finish. As we see everybody heading down pit road, at least for fuel here. They will have to make it to the end of lap 45, which is the end of stage 2. Everybody makes their way down pit road. We'll be able to see the front 5 or so cars here on pit road. We see Walsh dive in there, Jackson behind, Bud Shear, Montesi. Your front 4 there as Kramer pulls in behind him. Bud Shear, fuel only. Aaron Jackson looks like fuel only. Not sure. Ron Walsh has been on pit road for a very long time. I did not see the sides of the car go up, so it looks like no tires. If he has damage, I didn't see it, so not sure what's going on with the 48. Hopefully everything is all right with that car engine-wise and all that good stuff. As your new leader currently is going to be Bud Shearer out front here in the Canadian Tire RBS racing car. Aaron Jackson will hold on to second spot. Burkhart's going to move up to third. Charles up into fourth. Ron Walsh looks like he's made his way out of pit road now, sitting back in 10th. Very long pit stop. Everything on the car seems to be okay. As the lights go off on the pace car, everyone will start to get double file here, and we will go back green for the start of stage 2. All right, Bud Shear is going to lead them into the Geico restart zone, and he's going to get a great jump on the 12. Looks like everybody was clean there through the start finish. No switching of lanes or anything of that nature that could cause a penalty. Ron Walsh currently back in ninth. Burkhart looking to make the pass on the 12 here up front to take away second, to see if he can make a run at Bud. He gets a little wobbly off the corner coming off on the inside, but holds it steady. He's going to dive down into the corner inside of the 12. The 6 looking to almost make it 3 wide. Off the corner, he just about does, but he falls in line behind the 12. And the 83 and the 12 still side by side, but the 12 is going to get the run and get the position, as the 83 may lose 2 spots here after almost getting into second. And he'll find himself back in the 4th position still. Van Scoik in the top 5, sitting in 5th. Ron Walsh up another position into 8th. Christoph Hall looks like he got some of that right side damage fixed. Still pretty tore up. Did have a 53-second pit stop, so definitely got some of it fixed, but only so much they can do to fix that car. Maurice Burnett currently running in 10th here, right where he started the race. John Ciolino in the 33, down 3 from the beginning of the race. Love the paint scheme though. It was a beautiful race car. The 41 currently out of the race, as is the 24. Not sure what happened to those 2 drivers. I know the 41 had front end damage before. I did not see any issue with the 24. But now currently out of the race, as Montesi has taken over the lead from Bud Shear. As we were going through the field, Aaron Jackson still holding on to 3rd position. Burkhart right behind, and Van Scoik in the top 5. 3 of your drivers, all 4 in the top 8. Jackson currently your championship leader. Just a reminder, if you are watching, to win the championship, they do not have to win the race. They just have to finish ahead of the other 3 playoff drivers. So they're not necessarily worried about the leader in front of them, as Jackson would be right now. He's just worried about the next yellow number on the tower there behind him. And currently that would be teammate of the 83, Burkhart, who he's got almost a full second on right now. Thirteen drivers on the track tonight for the championship race. We are down 2. 2 are out of the race. Ciolino has lost the position, sitting back here now in 11th. Burnett right ahead. Christoph Hall in the 98. The Red Bull again has quite a bit of rear end damage. Looks like they got a lot of the side damage fixed. Gerald Livingston in the number 96, giving us a 2 Canadian driver field. Used to just be 1 in Bud Shear. Ron Walsh in the 7th position. That is your last place currently driver of the championship 4. But he's making his way back up through the field now, up to 6th, getting around Schmitz. Burkhart is in 5th. Charles Van Scoik up 7 from the beginning of the race. Now your 2nd place championship driver, and trying to make his way up to Aaron Jackson, but he's got about a 1.5 seconds of time he's got to make up as we get to that lap 45, end of stage 2. And then it's where it's really going to get interesting, as we have about a 55 lap shootout to decide who that one driver is going to be that's going to hold the trophy at the end of this thing and be able to call themselves Season 1 G.O.A.T Racing Beef Jerky Unlimited Series champion. Very clean racing so far from everyone throughout the entire field. Only one incident that I have seen, and that was just the 98 getting into the wall. The 41 got into the back of him when that happened. Other than that, it has been from what I have seen, a very clean racing, incident free. Montesi looks like he was one of the drivers that did come in at the end of stage one and took fresh tires, just judging by the pit time. So that's probably why we're seeing him jump so far out front. Bud Shear took fuel only, and he's only 7/10 of a second behind now, 8, almost a full second now. As Montesi got through that last corner a little bit better, but on the older tires, Bud is definitely keeping this thing interesting. With the driver in front of him having newer tires. About 8 to go here in stage 2. All 4 playoff drivers are consecutive positions, starting with Jackson in 3rd, and Skoik in 4th, Burkhart right behind in 5th, followed closely by teammate Ron Walsh, who had a very long pit stop and has made his way back through the field from about 10th spot up to 6th, and is now looking inside of the 83. Not quite enough there in that last corner to be able to get to the inside all the way to make the pass. But judging by the line he is running, it should be in the next couple corners. We'll see the 48 probably move his way into the top 5 here as Burkhart goes up a little higher line in the corner, which is going to allow the 48 to make that inside lane, cut the dog leg short, and then be on the inside and take away the position here in turn 1. And out of turn 2. Van Skoik still about 2 seconds behind current championship driver leader of Aaron Jackson, who's sitting in the 3rd position still. Bud here in 2nd, actually gaining on Montesi here, and kind of shocked because Montesi looks to be on fresh tires to where the 93 is not, and he's keeping it within almost half a second here, the gap. Four to go in the stage. Montesi still out front. Burkhart losing ground. Just got passed by Schmitz and Livingston. He did not get tires at the end of stage 1, so his tires may just be reaching that point of, I need this stage to end so I can get new ones. Probably ran the rubber off of him there. Ron Walsh up to 5th. Van Skoik in 4th. Aaron Jackson in 3rd. Bud Shear still running in 2nd. 6.5 tenths behind leader Mike Montesi with 2 to go. Actually 3 to go in the stage. Looking to come in here and take a stage win. Possibly try to make a run for the win in the final stage of the race. He's just going to have a little bit less tire than everybody else. So if a late race caution happens, if he still finds himself up front, could be a bad situation. If everybody else is able to come and get tires, and he is not. 2 to go now in the stage. Bud Shear has gained a couple tenths. Loses out of that corner. The rest of the field pretty spread out. We do have a couple drivers close together. But for the most part, the field right now, very, very spread out. Even amongst all the championship drivers, 3 through 5 here. We're just starting to see the tire strategies that everyone played at the end of stage 1 with no tire changes. Everybody's just kind of getting their car worn out right now. They'll be looking forward to this last lap here to end stage 2, so they can come down here and get some fresh Goodyears on their car and feel like, you know, they're driving a new one. Stage 2 winner is going to be Mike Montesi as he crosses the finish line here. The caution flag is out. That will be the end of stage 2. Mike Montesi in the number 6, going to bring home a stage win here. Now we'll start to see if anybody has any strategy here, if it's just going to be fill it full of fuel. Man, say that 5 times fast. Fill it full of fuel. And get some 4 new tires. Montesi might be the only one that plays a little different strategy here because he took tires before. We will find out here momentarily. After we see what happens here on the pit stops, I am going to step away just for a second to go grab something to drink. And we will be right back for the final stage of this championship race. It'll be about a 50-lap shootout when they go green. Again, we do have 2 drivers currently out of this race. And that is Dakota Kramer and Cody Sturgill back in 12th and 13th position. So we see the drivers come in here. No tires on the 6th. Top 3 in front of him there, all taking 4 tires. Mike Montesi on his way out. So he will hold the lead, but he is going to have a full field of fresh tires behind him. And he's letting everybody by. Might have spat on pit road. Chris, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Having a great championship race here. All right, sorry about that, folks. We are back. The cars are double file. The lights are off on the pace car. And yes, championship races are full send. It's been more of a... We're going to see who has a long run car here at the end. Because we've had 0 cautions for incident. Not a lot of tight racing so far. It's been pretty spread out. So it's definitely going to... We're going to see who has the better long run car, I think, here. But Sherry, your leader, he's going to lead him into the Geico restart zone here to begin the final stage of the season. First place driver in the championship currently is the 12 of Jackson. Bud Shear going to get a great jump here, the 48, seeing if he can get to the inside of the 12 here on the restart. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Van Squick on the outside of the 48 going into the turn. But Bud Shear puts a big gap on second place. But taps the wall, maybe just barely. Slight wiggle off the corner there. Let's go race car drivers. Love it. Aaron Jackson still your current championship leader. Walsh right behind him. Burkhart, then Van Scoyk. Those are your 4 championship drivers, all in the top 5. Gerald Livingston currently in the 6th position. Into the wall goes the 98 of Hall again. That's the second time that we've seen him do that. And I believe it was out of the same corner. Come on, 83, says Dark Phoenix in the chat. Stay off the wall. Yes, these drivers definitely need to stay off the wall. That's going to hurt his car a lot. We see more rear end damage now, once again, to that car. And I think my favorite paint scheme of the night is 33 right here, John Cialino. It's just a great looking car. A little bit of red, white, and blue. Philip Schmitz here in the 11, looking to the inside of Cialina. America out in chat. Yes, we are over halfway to decide the championship and who's going to take home that trophy. Still out front of that chase is Aaron Jackson in the 12. Bud Shear in the 93, still leading the race. If I would have to guess, I would give it about 3 laps and you could start cueing that Jaws music as Ron will probably start making his way closer and closer to that 12 car. This just seems like a very fitting track to Ron's driving style, and we saw him dominate stage 1. Stage 2 is a little bit further back in the field because he had a long pit stop at the end of stage 1. But very quickly made his way back up through the field. A little bit of a bobble off that corner, but gathers it up nicely. Doesn't lose any ground to the 12, even through that. Burkhart still in a 4th, followed closely by Van Scoyk. And these drivers will have to make a green flag stop if there's not a caution in this final stage. As it is too long to make it on fuel, and I'm sure most of these drivers have a set of tires they're going to throw in the car as well, unless somebody decides to save them and take a chance on a late race caution, which I just do not see happening. Come on, Burkhart out there in the chat. I might have been wrong. Jackson's actually making the gap a little bit bigger back to Walsh. And he's actually gaining on the 93 of Bud Shear as well. Last lap, the 12 was almost a full 1/10 of a second faster than the 48. The only thing he's got to hope is just seeing faster speeds, that he's not running the tires off of this thing too quickly. So we've got about 40 laps to go left in the race. Mike Montesi was your stage 2 winner, currently running in 11th. Did not take tires at the end of that last stage, so he took them at the end of stage 1 and was the only car to do so. So So he's going to lose a lot of track time here, running slower laps. And I don't know that he'll be able to make it up when he takes fresh tires on the green flag stop later in this run, just because of the amount of time he's going to lose. Gerald Livingston makes his way possibly around the 83 here. He gets to the inside. Going to take that position away from the 83. That's going to bump Burkhart back to the 6th position. Maybe Burkhart gets a good run to the outside. Sammy, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Pretty good race so far. All green flag, no cautions. It's been a long run car kind of day. So far, Jackson is showing us what he can save in that thing. Ron Walsh has gained a little bit of ground here, though. He's starting to make that run we expected to see. Still out front, though, and getting a little bit of a larger lead here by a couple more tenths. Bud Shear in the 93 has led all the laps of this final stage so far. Last lap was about a 1/10 of a second faster than both second and third of Jackson and Walsh. Let's be right along here with the 12. A little bobble by the 93 going into the corner. Let's see it thing fishtail out, but a little bit better to get loose into the corner than it is off of the corner, as we see him still get a great run out of the corner. You see Walsh hug that yellow line, even maybe just a hair below it. Gonna push it up to the wall, out of the corner, dive down into the dog leg. Gonna try to get back to that yellow line. Riding along with Van Scoik, who's about 3.9 seconds behind the leader, but he still has him in his windshield. He can still see him. Doesn't sound like he's trying to push the car quite as hard, maybe as the other championship drivers up front. Trying to save that car for the long run. Charles is typically a long run kind of driver. We see him come alive later in runs, start chasing everybody down and, making his way around. Passing a lot of cars later in runs. Maurice Burnett up 3 from the beginning, having a good race, sitting in the 7th position so far. Philip Schmidt's currently up 4 into the 8th position. Sorry about that. My SDK had a little bit of a hiccup. That's why it was. Someone blinked and fell all the way to the bottom. Montesi, who's on the different pit strategy than all the other drivers, currently in the 9th position, down 5 from the beginning, and Cialino in 10th right now. Christoph Hall, who we saw have issue getting into the wall a couple times, don't see him on track currently. It's not showing him out of the race, it's just showing him on pit road, but it did not show his car on pit road. So I think we have our third driver now out of the race tonight. As Butch here still holding on to the lead up front with about 28 laps to go here at Phoenix. To try to decide our champion for season 1. All right, welcome back, folks. Aaron Jackson still your leader of the championship for Ron Walsh, still running right behind him, about a second behind Jackson. Van Scoik in the 4th position, making his green flag pit stop a little bit earlier than the other 2 drivers. Going to try to see if he can make up some time here after he gets those fresh tires. I would expect to see the 12 and the 48 pitting very quickly, if not this lap, now that they have seen the 23 make his way down pit road. They are going to stay out, so this may present an opportunity for the 23 to be able to make up some of that time that he had fallen behind these 2. So he makes his way off pit road. No speeding penalties. The 12 still staying right in line with the 93 of Butch Shear, who's been leading this entire final stage of the race. 24 to go here at Phoenix Raceway. Ron Walsh currently sitting in a 3rd position, 1.8 behind leader Butch Shear. Gerald Livingston made his way now up to the 4th position. And our 2nd playoff driver has made his way down pit road to get those fresh tires, get the car full of fuel so that he can make it to the end. Ron Walsh still staying out on the track, as well as Burkhart. And your leader Bud is still out there as well. I believe Charles and Aaron are the only 2 that have pitted so far. Yep. We have had 2 cars come down pit road. The 12 is in there getting his tires. Gerald Livingston making his way down pit road now. Montesi has made his way. Aaron Jackson on his way out of the pits. Bud Shear still out front with 21 to go. Ron Walsh currently in a 1st of the championship 4, but still has to make his pit stop, as well as Burkhart, who is in the 3rd position. And Bud has still elected to stay out on track and not make his pit stop just yet. Maurice Burnett, Philip Schmitz now making their way into pit road. Livingston and Montesi making their way off of pit road now. So we have 3 drivers left to make their pit stop, as Ron Walsh is now on pit lane making his final stop of the day. Just 3 drivers left to make their stop. Bud Shearer, Brandon Burkhart, and Cialino still have to make their way down pit road to be able to make it to the end of this thing. Aaron Jackson looking to get his lap back right now as they come out of the corner. Top 3 still have to make their way down pit road. Burkhart holding on to the lead of the championship 4 until he makes that pit stop. Bud has made his way down, so he's going to give up the lead of the race here. Hopefully he wasn't speeding. Like he got pretty hard on the brakes there right at the end, right before the line. Burkhart's still staying out on track. And agreed, Sammy. Hopefully, even if it was a rough day, still have a good evening. Find something to just kind of take the stress of your day off there. Burkhart's still out front, still has to make his stop. We'll see how many more laps he decides to go. Cialino makes his way down pit road, so that'll leave Burkhart as the last one. Aaron Jackson back up into the second position. Charles Van Scoik will take over third as soon as he gets around Cialino. And he's going to be about 7 seconds behind Jackson, so even though he came in early, he still lost some time, but that is because Aaron Jackson only took right sides or no tires. Different strategy we're seeing here from the 12. And I think Burkhart is just out front hoping for a caution at this point, as he's still on track. Ron Walsh about 2.5 seconds back from the 23. Currently sitting in 4th of the championship for Aaron Jackson. A little bit different strategy, but it has put him ahead of everyone else. Van Scoik losing a position here to the 93 of Bud Shear, who looks to have taken right sides only. But makes his way around the 23 and now the 33. We are currently sitting with 6 drivers left on the lead lap. Burkhart finally going to make his pit stop here, it looks like. So that will turn the lead over to the 12 of Jackson here as soon as he's able to make his way around the 83 who is on pit road. 93 of Shearer about 6 seconds behind the 12. We will see if with right sides only he has enough to try to go catch the 12. He's gonna have to gain almost about a half a second a lap. Last lap he did do that, but as his tires start to fall off, I'm not sure if he'll have quite enough to do it. Jackson's strategy looking to be the one that's probably gonna pay off here, as long as he can hold the gap that really matters is 7.7 back to the 23. He ain't even worried about Bud. If Bud gets there, he can let him go around with no issue. Burkhart, after staying out so long on those older tires. Finds himself now in the ninth position, 26.7 seconds behind leader that you could see come into the screen there behind him. That's how close he is to being a lap down. Bud is now 4.6 seconds behind, so he is gaining, but the 48 has made his way around the 23, and that gap is still 8 seconds. So as long as Walsh cannot gain a full second a lap, Aaron will have this championship under wrap and be able to bring home that trophy, bearing no incidents, no cautions, or anything of that nature, because he is on older tires. So I do believe that he has the correct strategy if this thing stays green for 8 more laps. Kind of running that middle to higher line back to the bottom. Trying to diamond that corner a little bit to help with exit. Bud Shear still 4.2 seconds behind. Last lap still a little bit faster, but not enough to catch him. Ron Walsh running equal pace to the leader. Van Scoik currently running just a little bit off the leader's pace. Just kind of been a weird race when it came to strategy and seeing the difference of no tires to 2 tires and how it almost just didn't seem to matter at some points. Harold Livingston in the top 5 here, up 8 for the race. So far, currently your hard charger of the race. Bud's still gaining on the leader, but not enough time to get there. 4 to go here in your championship race at Phoenix. Three more laps. Jackson just hoping that that flag stays green. Aaron Jackson was your regular season champion when it came down to points when the playoffs began, and now is 1 lap away from taking the overall championship for the entire season as the white flag is out. He's going to try to make his way around this track one more time. As long as he can keep that thing clean, he can pretty much baby it through the final lap. And he will find himself the champion of the G.O.A.T Racing League Beef Jerky Unlimited Series as the checkered flag is out and Jackson crosses the line, season 1 champion here at G.O.A.T Racing. Bud Shear is going to finish the race in 2nd. Ron Walsh is going to come home 3rd, 2nd in the playoff standings. Van Scoik 4th in the race. He'll be 3rd in the playoff standings. Livingston gets top 5. Montesi is going to finish 6th. Burkhart Going to be 4th in the championship standings, 7th place in the race today. Maurice Burnett's going to come home 8th. Philip Schmidt 9th. Neilino's going to be 10th, followed by Christoph Hall, Kramer, and Sturgill. All three of them out of the race as we go back to your championship winner here in the 12, currently burning it down. Pretty much need to go to every corner at this point. Burn out. Well, he's going to make his way into the safety car. Burn it down on the logo. I like it. Make his way to victory lane. We will see. Once he gets into the waiting room here, we'll get an interview with your champion of Aaron Jackson in the number 12. Ran a very clean race. He had the strategy that paid off as he took either, judging by the time, I can't really say if it was 2 tires or no tires, but whatever it was the strategy that won the race because he came out almost 9 seconds or 7 seconds ahead of everybody that was behind him. And no one was able to make up that gap. So we will start getting the drivers here in the waiting room. And I am going to probably save the champion driver for the last interview tonight. So we'll end the interviews with our champion. So we'll actually go ahead and we'll start the interviews here with our 2nd place finisher of Bud Shearer. As long as I can get him moved up here. This is usually Circle's job. Bud, I moved you already, bud. What's going on? Congrats on your 2nd place finish. Looked like it was an interesting race to watch. It was a lot of different strategies that actually played out on that final pit stop. And I'm assuming you took 2 tires. Uh-oh.
2, or I was putting down 29/8 when I pitted, and I came out and started putting down 29/8 with 2 freshies. So I said I would have rather come out 4 seconds back with the other 2 tires on it, I guess. But you never know.
Yeah.
Trucks were good on 2 tires, so.
Oh yeah, the trucks are just, I don't know. I feel like they run so much better here than anything else. But
well, Aaron said it helped him, the 2 tires, which I could see that because he was late in the run, pushing a little bit in the center. It was hindering his exit, but he was still getting a good run in. And yeah, I just took all fight away from me there. Those 2 tires, it was just a hold on fest for 16 laps.
yeah, is there anything strategy wise, if you could go back and redo it, maybe the 2 tires, like you said, it made the car not drive very well, but is there anything you would have changed about your strategy that you think could have put you in that 1st place at the finish?
Well, I would have put the 4 tires on it, I think. With 16 laps, I definitely would have ran him down because we were able to get down about 27 sevens like myself. I couldn't get much better than that in race condition. So, I mean, yeah, I was a second off pace plus on them 2 tires. So I only needed 8 laps to catch them with 4 tires. I think 16 laps, I just couldn't catch them. 4 tires for me. Too loose.
I don't think I would have, even if I was in this race, I don't think I would have even thought to not take 4. But that's just usually how I am.
I figured I was thinking he might not take any tires. Just Aaron will do an odd thing here and there. So I figured if he took no tires and got way out there on me, So that's why I went with the 2. He did get way out there on me, but no, good clean race. I get first dibs on diecast. So that's nice.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
a good selection he had. If I was in this one, I definitely would have went for an Al Guy or a Regan Smith. But
no, we're going for Jumpman. Taking the 45.
yeah,
But give a big thanks to you for putting on this stream, Chuck for putting on the league here at Goat Racing, and big thanks to RBS, my teammates, and obviously a big thanks to all these guys that raced here tonight, and Aaron and Ron and Brandon and the 6. I don't recall his name, but they all raced very clean and made it for a good race.
all right. Well, thank you for joining us, Bud, and congrats on your second place finish here to end the season with Goat Racing in the Beef Jerky Unlimited Series. We look forward to the next time we might see you racing here on Skokie Esports.
Sir, thank you kindly.
All right, I do not see Ron Walsh, so we'll go ahead and move to your season 1 Goat Racing League Beef Jerky Unlimited Series champion, and that's Aaron Jackson in the number 12. Walk us through that race, Aaron, and tell us how you feel taking home that season 1 trophy.
Good, man. Good. I think Ron held back a little bit, but yeah, it was a good race. It was, 2 stages, kind of just staying at the front, conserving things. And then I made a mistake, hit the wall on stage 2, gambled and took the fast repair at the end of stage 2, and then it was just trying to split the stage, and I took 2 tires rather than take 4, hoping to get the 7 seconds that saved me in the pit gave me enough of a gap that they couldn't get back to me, which in the end worked out. So yeah, it was great. It was a good race, clean race, a lot of fun. So can't be happier with the way the season turned out for me and for all the guys at Fastlane. It was nice to see us all up there in the finals.
Yep, 3 out of the 4 final positions were fast lane. And then you took home the regular season championship and now the playoff championship. So that's got to feel pretty good as well to sweep both of those.
For sure, for sure. The regular season I attribute more just to being consistent, being here.
Yeah.
The playoff championship took a little more work. Ron's a worry every week. Anytime you're on with Ron, you typically are running for second place. But yeah, it was a good race. It's a track I like and hate at the same time. So if you can figure the corners out, not burn your stuff up too soon, it can be a good track.
Yeah, I like Phoenix, but I like it in the trucks. But other than that, yeah, heck of a season. Like you said, consistent all season. Always saw great finishes out of you. I think there might have been 1 or 2 where you may not have finished, in the top, I don't know, 5 or 6 at the worst.
Yeah, there was a couple I got wrecked in, and but overall, yeah, it was a really good season for me. I like the Xfinity cars. It's what we mostly run on the team, so it's what we're most comfortable in.
Yep. All right. Once again, congrats on the championship. Go ahead. This is your time now. Anything you'd like to say? Anyone you want to thank?
Always a shout out to the guys at Fastlane. They're great to hang out with. We have a good time. We push each other. So that's great. Thanks, Charles, for putting on the league, all the sponsors that help make it all possible. And I'm actually looking forward to the break and not being tied down to a schedule now until they start next season up in the end of January there. So I appreciate everything everybody does, and hopefully everybody comes back and we have a great season 2.
Yep, definitely looking forward to it, and looking forward to some more good racing. And hopefully we'll see you out there, and we'll go from there, maybe.
All right, sounds great, man. And thanks for doing the broadcast. We do appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. All right, folks, that was your season 1 Goat Racing League Beef Jerky Unlimited Series champion, and Aaron Jackson takes home the trophy here at Phoenix. 100 laps, no cautions, so definitely had to have the right strategy, and he did have the one that amounted to him taking home and hoisting that trophy So that will be the final race of the year for the GOAT Racing League in the Xfinity cars here on Thursdays. It will not start back up till the end of January. So if anybody out there watching is interested in joining in a league, I know they have been doing a little bit of recruiting. Not sure how much room is left, as it seems to have been filling up pretty quick. As you can see, a lot of good races like this do happen. They're fun to watch, they're fun to call, fun to drive in. But if you ever do have any questions, your league owner is Charles Van Scoik. That guy right there. So you can always reach out to him or any of the admins, being myself or Sammy Harrell, who's not here tonight, or Christoph Hall. And then we can try to point you in the right direction, get you any info needed, all that good stuff. But a big shout out to Charles himself in the GOAT Racing League for number one, letting me do the broadcast. I've had a ton of fun coming out here, calling the races, either one by myself or with Zirkle. Either way, it's been a ton of fun and a lot of good races to watch and call. Yeah, so looking forward to season 2. It just seems like things are getting bigger and better every day for the GOAT Racing League. And we will see where season 2 takes us. And with that, we'll see you in a while for a broadcast. It'll be about a month and a half-ish. Everyone have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Stay healthy and stay safe. And we will see you later.